Thank you so much for taking time out and not saying no to us, despite I am aware, and we have had this conversation twice earlier. This is a marathon day, and somebody like you speaking for almost 10 hours already. You were right in your first meeting almost at 8 o'clock in the morning. 10 hours done, 3 to 4 more hours to go. This is phenomenal. And that's what I tell a lot of my friends. If you want to see Chanakya in action, the Karma Yogi in action, that's what you need to tune into on YouTube. Go and check Dr. Pillai's videos. Sir, thank you so much once again on behalf of the entire team at Youth Talks and Saturday Night Spotlight team for accepting to be with us. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And
First of all, please accept my apologies for being late because this is like a marathon for me. Today I'm doing 7 webinars, So after this also I got a couple of them, but so usually I don't be delayed. So kindly accept my apologies before you start, and I'll be definitely giving full time into this after we start right now. Thank you so much, sir.
That's what Chanakya would do, humility at the core and purpose right up on the top. Thank you, sir, for exemplifying Chanakya.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I've already introduced you. I've already built up the excitement is absolutely palpable. The house is, overflowing. We are currently saying no to almost 600 people who want to join. So that's the situation.
Thank you.
Sir, Mike, I would not pose too many questions. The first concern, or maybe the first thing that came to my mind, in India, it is believed that we are always born twice, once physically from the womb of the mother.
Yes.
And at a later date, we are born a second time spiritually when we are mentored, coached, and taught by a teacher. In Sanskrit, this is known as Dvija.
Yes.
Dusra Janma.
Yes.
Twice. Sir, Chandragupta Maurya was also fortunate to have been born twice. First, through the womb of his mother, Mura, and then Acharya Chanakya took him under his tutelage and gave India one of its youngest kings, almost 2000 years back at the age of 19. Acharya Chanakya's infallible strategies, his adherence to his nitis, the Chanakya nitis, it changed India's niyati.
Yeah.
नीतियों ने हमारी नियति बदल दी. विभाजित तो नहीं था, लेकिन जो भारत ही नहीं था उसको उन्होंने जोड़ के, इतने सारे राज्यों को जोड़ के नियति हमारी बदल के he made India that land at that point of time भारत. भारत सर वो आप डिफाइन करेंगे, लेकिन सर मेरा पहला प्रश्न आपसे यही है. आप द्विजा दूसरा जन्म उनका तो हो गया, चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य का दूसरा जन्म हो गया. उनके आसपास जो अंधकार था उसको रोशनी देने वाले चाणक्य, आचार्य चाणक्य भी वहां पे उनको मिल गए. मुझे भी शायद इस करंट वातावरण, ये पैंडेमिक, ये लॉस ऑफ जॉब्स, लॉस ऑफ क्लाइंट्स, ये जो डार्कनेस चारों तरफ है, मुझे भी इससे बाहर निकलना है. मुझे भी मेरा दूसरा जन्म लेना है, लेकिन मैं कहां से लाऊं मेरा चाणक्य? क्या चाणक्य ढूंढने के लिए मुझे हर सुबह शाम डॉक्टर राधाकृष्ण पिल्लई को फोन करना है, या डॉक्टर राधाकृष्णन पिल्लई ये कहते हैं कि आपका चाणक्य इज इनसाइड यू? वेयर डू आई गो टू सर्च फॉर दिस चाणक्य? प्लीज हेल्प मी सर. Where do I get my guru?
Thank you, Himadri sir. Thank you, Sarita ji, and thank you for this whole wonderful platform on Saturday Night Spotlight, because this is an inspiring platform, right? And it's meant for inspiring everyone. So I am also inspired because you look at the vision that Himadri sir, Sarita ji has been setting. It's actually spreading of knowledge. And actually, I'm so glad that everybody who's present over here is actually in the space of knowledge. देखिए, आपने बहुत अच्छा बताया कि द द्विज का मीनिंग है born twice. So पहली बात ये है कि we take birth from the mother's womb, but we also take birth in the space of knowledge. If in India you have died without moksha, then you are not an Indian. Okay, you may be born anywhere in the world, but what is that makes India very, very unique is the spiritual side of India. Let me tell you, spiritual side of India doesn't mean it is the non-practical side of India. There's a lot of confusion about, spirituality is always about the other world. So when I'm born in a spiritual world, that means, मेरे को दुनिया वगैरह छोड़ के हिमालय जाना है. No. All our rishis were married. All our rishis were scientists, and they understood not only the other world problem, but also this world problem. So coming back to your question, sir, is that भारत उस समय का और भारत इस समय का, and especially with the uncertainty around what are the Chanakya inputs. So पहली बात, let us go into history before we come to the present generation. In the history, there's a saying that history repeats itself. So what happens is that Chanakya situation and something that we found in our generation or close to our generation was similar. So let me tell you how. Chanakya had a lot of internal problems. There were 16 regional kingdoms when Chanakya was there. His father's name was Chanak, Vishnugupta, Chanakya, Kautilya, as you know, the three names of the same person. It was a situation where, there was no governance system. So 16 regional kingdoms fighting against each other. And Chanakya was in Patna, what's then called as Patliputra. And he had to go to Takshashila, come back and all those. But he realized one thing, without good governance, this country will be only fighting against themselves. And then suddenly he had Alexander who came. Okay, Alexander was probably the first international attack. And when he came, you'll be surprised, they were slowly trying to conquer India, but Chanakya was smart. What he said is, wait, I will not allow the foreigners to conquer my country. And therefore he united India. And then he made one person the overall Chakravarti, as you say, the Samrat, and that was Chandragupta Maurya. Now, the same thing happens very close to Indian independence. It's not old story. And you'd be surprised, when Britishers came in, India was divided into 550 princely states. Let us not see it as the same thing in a different context. It's the same situation. And we require a movement, okay, to first of all defeat and send back Britishers, but also somebody to unite India. So many people ask me, who according to you is modern day Chanakya? And I say it is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Because Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel had a fantastic task and a very, very difficult task. When I say fantastic, it's an opportunity, right? And difficult because 550 princely states, everybody having their own egos and power and all those things. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is known as a man who united India, isn't it? The Iron Man. He never had any selfish purpose, but he wanted a Bharat. And he was a lawyer. He was also educated in England. So he knew the nitis. So he also used Samadhana Danda Veda to unite India. And then we see the benefit in our generation. So the comparison is quite natural that, you require one Yuga Purush who brings everybody together. Okay, and that Yuga Purush was Chanakya during that time. And for me, that Yuga Purush was Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel during our generations or the post-British generation. Now coming back, what are the lessons that we can learn in the current times of uncertainty? Okay, my teacher, Dr. Shubhada Joshi, under whom I did my PhD in Kautilya Arthashastra from the Department of Philosophy, University of Mumbai. She always says something very phenomenal and very deep. She says, present is always in crisis. So don't think that the crisis of the past or the present, every situation is crisis. So let us look at the current situation with Corona or without Corona. Okay, so let's move maybe 1.5, 2 months reverse here. Suppose the Corona thing wouldn't happen. Do you think the situation would have been certain? No, it will still be uncertain. So what would you be doing? Looking at March year ending, looking at, policies of how to pay tax or how to avoid tax, whatever it is. You will be actually getting the new financial year. You may be actually thinking about new business models. You may be looking at increments of your people. You may be looking at salary restructuring. At that time also it was uncertainty, right? Of course, it was not a matter of life and death, but it was also uncertain. We are not even discussing the problems that we were discussing 3 months ago. For example, how many people are losing jobs and senior positions, okay? So, bankers are losing jobs like never before. In fact, banking is actually becoming like an IT company. So today only the technocrats are running. The real bankers are gone. So there is job problems, there is attrition problem, the startups are not getting enough fundings, blah, blah, blah. So coming back, certainty and uncertainty is a part of life. Please accept it. Okay. The first things first, if you think everything will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's so boring. It's so boring. How can you have everything like, methodologically planned? Life is always about surprises, isn't it true? Now, the problem, if you look at uncertainty, that means you don't know the future. Uncertainty means you don't know. You're not under control. That's it. But a person with a positive mindset, like Chanakya, would say that, oh my goodness, it's a very interesting thing to do, that life is uncertain, okay? But life can also be positive. So don't think that uncertainty is always negative. Like, for example, I'm going to US for the first time. I'm giving an example because, first time I'm going, it's uncertain, I don't know the country and all those things. But, that can turn around your fortune also. Okay. So anything that you do new, because it is unknown, you call it uncertain. But that's the beauty of life. It may unfold into something beautiful. So I'll give this example. Ek parda hai. There is a curtain, and behind the curtain there is somebody. The first immediate kind of an impulse is that uske piche kahi bhoot to nahi. Because the first imagination of uncertainty is something that will be very fearful. But think about it this way. Yes, bhoot bhi ho sakta hai, no doubt about it. But shayad Bhagwan bhi ho sakta hai. Okay. So that's why I'm saying that, okay, in the uncertain, there could be something beautiful that you unfold. But the reality could be कि उसके पीछे कोई इंसान हो सकता है. So between positivity and negativity, there is something called as reality. So when we say negativity, उस पर्दे के पीछे भूत हो सकता है. Okay. The positivity is भगवान हो सकता है. But the reality is कोई आदमी है उसके पीछे जो छुपा हुआ है. So coming back, Chanakya is also known as a realistic philosopher. फिर से मैं बताऊंगा. Realistic philosopher. He's very clear that I'm not talking about the other world. I want this world to be successful. So 3 points which I would like to mention about Chanakya to deal with uncertainty. Okay, very, very important. To deal with uncertainty, and that uncertainty could be coronavirus, that uncertainty could be job loss, that uncertainty could be a relationship breakup also. It depends. Uncertainty is everywhere. Okay, it could be uncertainty of starting a new enterprise or a business or a project, or it could be a new job with a transfer. Everything is uncertain. But remember the 3 formula which I have believed. Chanakya was always positive. First P. Okay, be positive. But Chanakya actually found a kind of a country which was into 6s and 7s. It was not in a very interesting way. His father was killed. Imagine Dhananand was a power corrupt guy. You have somebody like Alexander coming. But he says, "Nahin, I have a contribution to make." This situation bahut acha hai na, it's not very good because there is no challenges. So the creators look at challenges as opportunities. In fact, there's a saying, if everything is good, then Ram Rajya is not required. Because everything is good. Aapka contribution, even if you contribute. That's why I'll tell you something very funny. I find a lot of these developed people, countries people, they come to India and various other countries to do NGO work. Then I say, why are they coming here? Then I realize that unke country mein NGO ki zarurat hi nahi hai. So they go to in a so-called underdeveloped country. So you're actually born in a country where everything is good. Now you're not required. And there is nothing to do. So suppose you're born in a situation where things are not good, you have a contribution to make. And even if it is good, you should make it better. So let's say you got a business which is given by your father worth 100 crores. Good, na? Right? You don't have to struggle. But that's not your contribution. Imagine that 100 crore business becomes 50 crores. What a contribution, right? But you should make sure that 100 crore becomes 500 crores. That's your contribution. So what you have is God's gift to you. And what you do with what you have is your gift to God. Okay? So what does Chanakya think? Chanakya said, okay, let's be positive about it. I took a realistic count and looked at, okay, situation is not that great, but situation is not bad either. I got a weapon. Okay, what is that weapon? It's got jnana. I got wisdom. I know the process. Let me apply it. Because he was already a teacher of Arthashastra, how to create a good country, good model of governance. So the theory है, चलो यार भगवान ने अच्छा opportunity दिया है, अब इसको practically apply करते हैं. Imagine everybody doesn't have this opportunity to create theory into practice. A lot of people write books, but can you actually apply the theories of the books? Chanakya did that. The first thing is he started with the positivity. And as a prime minister also, I liked one of his speeches. He said, कि आप जिस देश में पैदा हुए, उसकी व्यवस्था अच्छी नहीं है. Let's say the governance system is not good, everything is corruption, this, that. लेकिन क्या आप जब जाओगे, he's talking to the children, okay? जब आप चले जाओगे, क्या आप ऐसे व्यवस्था को छोड़ के जाओगे? So, when you found a country where the governance is not good, do you want to leave that country like that when you go away, when your generation passes away? No. Your contribution is to make that vyavastha suvyavastha, better than what you found. So that's why every generation has to contribute. So Chanakya was very positive. There is a space to contribute. Second thing, he was very practical. So first is P, second is also P. He was very, very practical. A lot of people are visionaries. Aisa hona chahiye. They have ideas. They imagine the future. But the problem is that they think about the future, but they don't take the first step. Please understand it. The first step is a realistic step. And that is where leadership comes in. There was a person, he was doing something and not getting successful and all those things. So he went to his guru. Okay, Acharya ke paas gaye. और पूछा कि एक आदमी क्या कर सकता है, अकेला आदमी क्या कर सकता है. थिंक अबाउट चाणक्य, वाज अ पर्सन ऑल अलोन. यू नो व्हाट द गुरु सेड, एक अकेला आदमी ही कर सकता है शुरुआत. Only one person can do what? Beginning. At least begin. And as you keep walking, the others will join you. So if you think one person cannot do, you are right. Because one person cannot do everything. But at least you can begin. And that's leadership. Over a period of a time, others will join you. You know, it is said about Mahatma Gandhi, when everybody thought, oh, what is ahimsa and a tool of weapon and all this. And he was inspired by Rabindranath Tagore's one very famous poem called Ekla Chalo Re. He started the walk alone. That's the kind of a spirit you should have. But that doesn't mean you walk alone. But if you walk alone, you'll inspire others to join your journey. So the same Guru said, if you succeed, remember there are three things. One is self-effort. Second is teamwork. And the third one is God's grace or luck, as we want to call it. So Chanakya started. He saw the situation very practically and said, okay, let me do something. So it's called the circle of influence and the circle of concern. And if you read Stephen Covey's book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he said, begin where you are. आपको दुनिया को चेंज करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप जहां हो वहीं से चेंज की शुरुआत कर लो. You know, Mahatma Gandhi also has this very famous statement, be the change that you want to seek in the world outside. You are the point from where it starts. So, you know, Dvija, as you beautifully pointed out, you know, आपने अगर अपने मन में वो नया विचार, वो birth दिया है, जन्म दिया है, so now it's a responsibility to nourish it. So mother gives birth, but that's not motherhood. Mother giving birth is only the first stage of motherhood. You have to take care of the child, feed it. Make sure you make the child train into walking, eating, sleeping, everything, you know. So when the child is fully grown, then the motherhood is complete. It's also values. It's also the education. So friends, if you have an idea, Chanakya had an idea. He said, no, I've given birth to a concept called Rashtra Nirman. मुझे भारत को एक राष्ट्र बनाना है. मैं शुरुआत करूंगा. तो धीरे 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 कारवा बनती गई. मैं चलता गया, कारवा बनता गया. And what he did was a revolution. A lot of people joined him. Many people did not understand his idea because visionaries live in the future. They only seem to be in the present. Let me repeat that. Visionaries actually live in the future. The mind is somewhere there, 2000 years ahead. But they live in the present. But they work in the present with the past knowledge to create a great future. Okay? I like to sum up this question by telling that what do we learn in uncertain situation? First is be positive. Second, be practical. So you have to look at the realistic situation. This is what it is. And the third one is be spiritual. Chanakya ka jo strength hai na, that comes very deep. Many people don't understand it. It comes from the mind and also comes from the heart. You know, there is something called as Atma Bala. Okay? And there is something called as Shastra Bala. Okay? So he had the great combination of Atma Bala. I can do it. But that is not about, you know, inspired living and all those things. He had a theoretical model, the Shastra. See, he studied Artha Shastra. He was a great scholar. He says that if I have a wisdom, then why shouldn't I do it? So that's Atma Bala. He created the whole nation out of his willpower. But it is not baseless willpower. It is a willpower coming out of Shastra Adhyayan. He had a parampara. The Arthashastra of Kautilya is not the first Kautilya Arthashastra. There are many before that also, as you may know it. So what is important is that be like Swami Vivekananda, if you want to get him closer. He was a very studious person. He studied the Indian and the Western philosophy. And they say, oh, look at this practically. And he also said, you know, before you actually learn the Bhagavad Gita, go and play the football. That's practical, isn't it? So don't, he said, you know, Ramakrishna Mission is not about talking spirituality, but also feeding the poor. You know, hunger is a very important thing. He actually had a sister who committed suicide. Are you aware of it? Swami Vivekananda is one of the sisters actually committed suicide. He had seen what is pain. He saw what is hunger. And he said, you know, before I teach spirituality, I should be practical to tell how to eat food. So all Ramakrishna Mission centers across the globe have a social project attached to them even today. A Ramakrishna Mission hospital, maybe a school. So it is not just giving Brahmagyan. It is also Jagat Uddharan. My dear friends, Chanakya was very real. He knew what is the situation. He was positive. He was practical. But he had Atma Bala. He was spiritual. And most important, he also had strategies to do it. He achieved it. And that's why we consider him a great role model. Thank you so much.
Sir, you mentioned something about Chanakya's 3 points, being practical, being positive, and having the spirituality to back you up. And इसके साथ में आत्मबल होगा तो things would become quite real, you know, realistic.
Yeah.
जब धनानंद ने आचार्य चाणक्य को अपने राज्य से निष्कासित कर दिया था. He was banned from पुत्र, do not come back. इंसल्ट करके निकाल दिया था. At that point of time, चाणक्य ने अपनी शिखा खोल दी थी. He had opened his lock of hair and said, ये शिखा मैं तब तक नहीं बांधूंगा जब तक I do not destroy you and install somebody else in your space.
Yes.
So, Atmabal, being positive, being practical, having that spiritual power to back you up, don't you think that would work when I have a purpose in life? What Chanakya had at that point of time, he had a purpose. He worked hard. He went and searched for that person who can replace, Nand dynasty को खत्म करके Chandragupta को हम वहाँ पे install करेंगे. So how does somebody get that focus to figure out a purpose? What about my calling? How can people get their calling in life?
What a question, sir. Sir, I'll tell you, if you answer this question, you don't have anything else to do in life. There's a beautiful saying that the only purpose of life is to find your purpose. Now, it's a very deep statement. See, you have to understand one thing, that we are not human beings on a spiritual journey. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. A very profound statement that I read once. We are not human beings on a spiritual journey. Spirituality is a part of it. No. We are spiritual beings on a human journey. So we had many births before us, and there'll be many births after us. So when we are born on this earth, actually there is a purpose. Unfortunately, many people don't know what that purpose is. So let me tell you, the Shastriya Parampara, how to find your purpose in life. First things first, everybody's purpose is unique. तो आपका पर्पस अलग होगा, मेरा पर्पस अलग होगा, मेरी बीवी का पर्पस अलग होगा, मेरे बच्चों का पर्पस अलग होगा. You know what we do? We actually put everybody in the same box. And think about the last couple of generations. Oh my goodness, education system doesn't talk about purpose. They talk about degrees, which will give you jobs. And after that, you get married and settled. That is being called be comfortably miserable. So even if you have achieved all the money, fame, no, under say till you find a purpose, you're not happy. I've seen a lot of successful people and say, why are you? I'm comfortable. But inside the comfort, I'm miserable. You know why? Because they're not found a purpose. In the moment you find a purpose, you're not the same person again. And how that comes, I'll tell you the process also. Sometimes people get that calling by the stroke of luck. Like Mahatma Gandhi was pushed out of the train, the very famous story. He said, okay, here is a person who actually has taken a ticket of first class. And said, he said, no, I will not accept it. And that became a movement. That actually became a movement, and that was his purpose of life. Okay, and that's Mahatma Gandhi's case. But some people find a purpose in unknown places. I'll tell you my thing. I've been very fortunate that I was at Kailash Mansarovar, and I've written in one of my books also about it. And my wife was there with me and all. I don't know why. I've been already studying Chanakya, and this is like almost. I've been in the journey for 20 years. But my journey of Chanakya was almost like anybody else. Reading about him. But, it had not become a purpose till then. It had not become a purpose till then. When I went to Kailash Yatra, I don't know why, the first time I saw Kailash, a thought came to me. I don't know why that thought came to me. So it's like, imagine the Kailash mountain, I can still visualize it. That beautiful, it's Shiva itself. You have to be to Kailash to understand it. It is not a mountain. As Vivekananda said, if you look at Ganga as a river, then you're not understood it. And it's just water. You have to understand there is a different Ganga there. So when I look at the Kailash mountain, suddenly it hit me, a thought came to me and saying that give your life to Arthashastra. I said, okay, well, maybe a funny thought, But rishis have told, when you are in an ecosystem of spirituality, in a temple, maybe in the sanyog of saints and sages, some thoughts come to you, and don't think the thoughts are ordinary. You may think it's an ordinary thought, but if you analyze it, somewhere it's giving an indication of something bigger in life. So when a saint gives you a thought, that's thought, not ordinary. So when I was in Kailash, I also took it very lightly. But luckily, I was discussing with my wife, Surekha. I said, Surekha, this funny thought has come to my mind. It is coming again and again. And I was a businessman and all this. And I said, it feels like I have to dedicate my life to Arthashastra. And she took it very seriously. So after a couple of days, when we came back from Kailash, this thought kept lingering in me. And I told her, and she said, probably it's your calling, probably it's your purpose. I said, no, Chanakya and all those things, theek hai yaar, purane zamane ka. So even though I was convinced, but that was not my purpose of my life. But somewhere it made me so restless. And then that same year, this is 2004, I remember, almost 16 years, I think about it. And then that year, something happened and I went to Kerala. I studied the whole 6,000 sutras of Arthashastra under the Guru Sishya Parampara. And I remember that particular point when I had to actually give my Guru Dakshina. Imagine Dr. Gangadharan Nair, who taught me the whole Arthashastra, 6,000 sutra, sutra by sutra. What blessing, what Guru Kripa, what Shastra Kripa. One teacher, one student in the Shastriya Parampara. I went to Chinmay International Foundation and everything. And so many months I spent over there. It was a calling of the rishis, as they call it. So when I asked him, Guru Dakshina dena hai na, to fees वगैरह, he said, I don't take money. Luckily, Dr. Gangadharan Nair is well off. His children are also well. So he is not like, don't think that, modern Gurukuls means bechare. They are also well off. So luckily, there is no financial thing. But, there is a saying that till you give a Guru Dakshina, the knowledge is never complete. It's the duty of a student to give Guru Dakshina. And Guru Dakshina doesn't mean money. Huh? Be very clear on that. So, हमारे यहाँ पे तो Guru Dakshina का concept ही खत्म हो गया. The fees is given after the course. And today we take donation first and then give the knowledge later on. It's become a trade mentality. Right? So anyway, so when I actually spoke to Dr. Gangadharan, I said, what are the fees and all this? So all my acharyas told me, ask him directly. We transfer. I said, fees, I don't take. Shastriya Parampara mein aapko sikhaya, to Shastriya Parampara mein lenge. But then, I said, but Shastra also says, till I don't give a Guru Dakshina, my knowledge is not complete. So he said, it's fine. Okay, then I will ask you one Guru Dakshina. What? Whatever you have got, go and spread it to everyone else. I said, what a beautiful teacher, what a thought process. Ki aapko mil gaya na, ab jao, baato. So prachar is a part of Guru Dakshina that he asked for me. And it was not an insistent, but I took it very seriously. And remember, 2004, this is almost like December, I came back. Interestingly, Guru Kripa dekhiye. 2005, it's a very interesting year from Arthashastra's perspective. Not many people know this. That 1905, Shama Shastri had discovered Arthashastra in the Mysore University. The original palm leaves. If anybody is interested, it is still available in the Mysore University. Okay, Oriental Research Center. So whenever you go, it's in Karnataka. And Shama Shastri in the British era discovered it and said, oh, palm leaves, 2004 years old, it's verified by the government of India, original manuscript. He translated that into English. So I realized that 1905 and 2005 was the centenary year celebrations of rediscovery of Arthashastra. And I said, okay, what a beautiful year. And so December, I came back to Bombay from Kerala and said, my Guru Dakshina. And why give a small Guru Dakshina? Ab aisa kaam karo. Basically, now you give it back. So what I took a sankalpa. It's called goal setting. I took a sankalpa and said, okay, this year, that is 2005, I will do 100 sessions of Arthashastra free of cost. That's my Guru Dakshina. So think almost every third day, 350 days. I didn't know, but Guru Dakshina hai. So I started speaking to friends. I said, okay, I want to talk about Chanakya. Where you had gone away for a few months? Kaha gaya tha? Oh, Chanakya seekhna. Kya hai Chanakya? Zara batao. I was already a businessman. So people started inviting me into their office and saying, okay, Chanakya Niti for modern day businesses. You give a Guru Dakshina in a lecture format. One lecture got invited into another lecture. Can you believe? Actually, I completed more than 101 lectures in one calendar year. Wow. I never knew that the Kailash Mansarovar thought, which could be give your life to Arthashastra, became a reality with the Guru Dakshina, and there is no going back. And every time I look back and then, sometimes I get frustrated also. Let me be honest, kya kar raha hu life mein yaar? I better be a grahastha. And you have to understand one thing, that sometimes when you're in a missionary mode, the challenges are very different. Only with Atma Bala, you can actually sustain it. It's not very easy. It's not like a business plan. Of course, I've been very fortunate. A lot of people give me consulting assignments, training program, and I get paid also. But that has not been my model. It is not just about, making money out of it. Of course, that's again, when people give me as a Guru Dakshina, I accept it because I have an organization and a family to run. But the purpose is more inspiring than the revenue. So I say, friends, why am I telling you that Chanakya got a purpose in a different way? Mahatma Gandhi got a purpose. He got a purpose in my life. It's so interesting, there is not a single day when I'm not speaking on Arthashastra. So when you find a purpose, the means will follow. Now coming back, how do you find your purpose? I'm going to give you the steps, very practical steps. If you actually do it, believe me, you'll not be the same person again. That's a promise. That's a Chanakya promise. Okay, so follow the process. First things first, pray to God. Because you are a part of the universe. Understanding, you are a part of the universe and the universe knows what your purpose in life is. Pray, hey Bhagwan, बहुत हो गया जिंदगी में, selfish life, I, me, myself, maximum my family. What a beautiful purpose in my life. I, me, myself, and maximum my family. This is called selfishness. somewhere deep within, deep within, go in and pray sincerely. Oh God, I don't know what my purpose in life is. Beg, beg, borrow, steal, whatever. Zindagi aise nahi karni chahiye. Marunga to kuch karke jaunga. Let me tell you, the universe, it's about law of attraction, the universe understands you better than you. There's a saying like this, And I'll tell you, a day will come, it will hit you. And that time you're not the same person. It could be one incident like Kailash Mansarovar or being put off from this. And in Chanakya's case, he was called back to build a nation by his teachers. So that's a different point. The first thing is sincerely pray. So after this, take out a day for yourself and say, God, I don't know, but tu bata raha. And I'm telling you, if you get it, you'll be different. Now let me tell you practically how to find your purpose. Okay, so ready? The process? The first process is very interesting. After praying to God, that is called praying. But you have to do your best also. So you're doing it. Lockdown period is the best period because you can't go out, then you can go in. When you can't go out, you can at least go in. So what I would suggest is that take a day out very sincerely. Sit down with a pen and a paper. Sit down with a pen and a paper and ask yourself intuitively, okay? Be honest with yourself. Put off your mobile, tell your family member, I'm going inside a cave, maybe it's a room. 3 ghanta mujhe disturb nahi karne ka. Take the permission, otherwise your mother, your wife, your children will come and tuck. Every time I get into webinars, first permission I take it from my family, So that no disturbance nahi hoga. You are doing a very serious, very, very serious activity and exercise. This is finding your purpose in life. So with that meditative, prayerful thing, have the attitude of gratitude. So when you do the prayer, it's not, hey, I got purpose. It's in a humble way. Take a pen and a paper and say, okay, connect to yourself and ask, God, show me your purpose. Thoughts will come to you. Start writing it down. Okay, write down. I think my purpose of life is this. Question yourself. Start writing. So that will be random thoughts, but keep documented. Therefore, they say always think on paper. Start writing it, write down. You'll be surprised after 2-3 times of writing, suddenly you will get clarity what's your purpose in life. So you question yourself. So for example, I want to be a doctor. Okay. So, but what kind of a doctor? Is a doctor who is just a qualified doctor or a practicing doctor? Okay. So definitely you have to qualify yourself, not a problem. But what's the attitude of the doctor? Is this commercializing or is it seva? Seva. But seva where? You can do a seva in a country like in America, or you can do it in a city, or it will tell you, okay, maybe the poor people require more. Okay. You will find a purpose. There is another method. Okay, if you listen sincerely, you will find your purpose. If you don't know what you want to do, write down and ask yourself what I don't want to do. So one is what I want to do. That is what I don't want to do. Ask yourself and answers will come. For example, do you want to become a doctor? I don't think that appeals to me. Maybe that's not my purpose. That was not clicking. The bell is not ringing. Do you want to be a sportsman? Do you want to be a politician? Okay. Something rings a bell. So I say, okay, politician, but I don't want to be active in politics. Okay, but what kind of a politician? Okay, maybe I will do some other activity in the field of politics. Can I be in public policy? Oh. So you don't want to be a politician, but somewhere the area is influencing politics. What is public policy? But do I want to research on public policy? Okay, or I want to be teacher of public policy? Because public policy teachers are actually advisors to politicians. Let me tell you that not many people know. So think about it. Manmohan Singh was an economist, person who understood public policy. And look at his stroke of luck. He became a Prime Minister of India, 2 full terms, 10 years. So what happens? You start writing. Maybe slowly, when you say what I don't want to do, you will come to know what you want to do. Clarify that. And you will be surprised whether you follow this process or this process. This is my purpose in my life, or this is not my purpose in life. Suddenly, the answer will come to you. So it's a very deep exercise. Keep writing. Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 or sometimes 5 hours. But till you find your purpose, don't get up. Okay? And that's the beauty of it. If you truly go inside, the purpose is already there. It's a soft voice which wants to be heard. Tickle it. Okay? Next thing, what I want you to do is very interesting. If you have found your purpose in life, please verify it with an expert. You may think this is my purpose of my life, but you don't know. Okay, so what is important? Let's say, I'm just giving an example. You want to be a mathematician because you find that as your purpose in life. Nothing wrong. You can be a businessman, a mathematician, a politician. See, everybody is unique. Swadharma कहते हैं उसे. आप किसके लिए पैदा हो गए आपको ही पता है. But you have to be the world best in that. So be sports, then only go for Olympics gold medal. Not even number 2, and not even silver medal. You never win a silver medal. you actually lose a gold medal. But Chanakya says, if you find a purpose, then become world's number one. It's called Vijikishu. दुनिया में नंबर वन बनना है उस फील्ड में. अगर बिजनेस खड़ा करना है तो दुनिया में नंबर वन. Sportsman बनना है तो नंबर वन. Politician बनना है तो Vijikishu. So coming back, so when you actually get your purpose, then go to an expert and say, Guruji, so let's say mathematician as an example. Find the best mathematics teachers. Guruji, I think my purpose in life, I think, okay, remember that, with humility, I think it is to become a better person. And the guru will verify you. But the expert knows whether you have it in you. So he will ask you a couple of questions and he's like, hey, worth it, come on. So if you have found your purpose in life, find your mentor also. Even Gandhiji had a mentor, so don't think Gopal Krishna Gokhale, as you say. Every guru also has a guru. Every leader also has a leader. So once you find your purpose, very important to find the guru who will help you make your purpose purposeful. So as I told you, I've been very fortunate. So this process is go deep, dive deep, find your purpose, but verify with an expert. Then life is different. Now I'll tell you the traditional Shastra Parampara. The moment you are born, your purpose is actually defined. Because it's a Purva Janam Sanskar, why you're born in that particular family, why you're born. So you have to understand it. And you know what is the process? Every child who is born in India, every family will call a family astrologer. You'll be surprised. We don't look at it because of Kundli banate hai na, 36 gun ke saath. Every child is unique. Okay. But if you have a very good astrologer, and good astrologers are there in India, so it's not like, unfortunately, we only look at future prediction. It's actually even personality analysis. So like we have something called a strength finder, you know, if you heard about it, you know, Gallup model, 34 qualities or something like that in a person. So our rishi is mapped as 36 qualities, 36 gun. Shadi ke time mein milate hai na. So there is a permutation combination, and day one you are born, your parents are told what is your purpose in life. Can you believe it? Today, unfortunately, parents don't know what the purpose of their life is. And parents don't know how to guide the children in finding their purpose in life. I always say, I don't think children require counseling. Parents require more counseling. So coming back, there is something which is called astrology. It's a science by itself. And Chanakya was an astrologer, by the way. When he identified Chandragupta Maurya, he actually looked at the combination. I better put my efforts in the best, isn't it? It's betting on the right horse. So you test the horse, isn't it true? So one of the testing methods is astrology. So the astrological charting, if you go and ask, in fact, one of my astrologer friends told me this, your Swadharma is actually research, thinking, and talking. What a great combination. I'm a thinker, so that's something which is your strength. Then you can speak well, all of you must be glued to me. This is not my kripa, it is Purva Janam and God's kripa. So researching, I'm a great researcher. So 17 books written and more. But the combination was with Chanakya. See, I could have done all the three in some other field, right? So the purpose became very clear with my strengths in the field of Chanakya. So my dear friends, do this mapping if possible, if you get a good astrologer. And then he will tell you that this is somewhere your strengths are, purpose and strength. PS, purpose and strength, once it matches, then you're on the right track. So let me give you one quick example. It is still a choice. Okay, so don't think that it has to click with you. So the choice, I'll give you again a traditional example. There are inborn qualities. There are inborn qualities in every person. 36 gunas as you care, or the strength finders will call it, 34 strengths, whatever will be the model. They are inborn to you. Which field to apply is your choice. I told you my strengths is thinking, speaking, and researching. Chanakya was my choice, and I found through a process also. Gautam Buddha, when he was born, okay, the family astrologer told, okay, that this guy is a born leader. Okay, Kshatriya hai na kul mein. His father was very happy. अरे मेरा बेटा भी अच्छा राजा बनेगा. आपको पता है राजा का सबसे बड़ा दुख क्या होता है? मेरा बेटा नालायक ना निकले. It's a very, very, very painful thing because you're the president. Your son also has to be minimum president. That's a problem. So when Gautam Buddha's father was told, everybody was rejoicing. Wow, he's a born leader. But then there is a clause. More than a star. Terms and conditions apply. You know what the astrologer told? He basically either he'll become a great, Kshatriya leader, or he'll become a great spiritual leader. Leader to banega. Father got afraid. Spiritual leader matlab kya? He can become a Babaji. He will go out. But wherever he goes, leader of world class. No compromise. That's why he's born in a leadership family. He's all got the gunas in him. And I don't know if you know this, Gautam Buddha's past life are also there in Jataka tales. The moment Gautama Buddha got enlightened, he could see the previous life. So it's a journey, and that was his final journey and final destination to be born as Gautama Buddha. Anyway, so the thing is that his father was very afraid. This is where parents' role come in. Very, very important for all the parents listening. Please understand, once you find the purpose of your child's life, it's probably you can find it earlier than the child. Please guide the children accordingly. Don't make everybody an MBA or a doctor. It doesn't matter. It could be an artist. It could be a scientist. Somebody who's born with those unique qualities. The universe has specially gifted on him or her. So coming back, the father got afraid. बोले ये बाबा नहीं बनना चाहिए, ये मेरा राजकुमार है, राजपुत्र है, राजा ही बनना चाहिए. Mistakes of parenting. And what did he do? He actually hid that particular child from the realities of the world. Remember that? So he was born, he was a Kshatriya, he was a great archer, very well, intelligent, everything, but he never gave him realities of the world. So he was hiding it. But you know, destiny, purpose of life, jab aata hai, koi rok nahi sakta. So it said, you know, one day, Siddhartha, that time he was young Siddhartha, he went out and he saw 3 events on a day. Till then he was very protected, you know, living in a golden cage. You're already married, you're already a son. Think about it. How immature that parenting was. He was not exposed to the realities of life. So when he outside, he saw 3 things: old age, sickness, and death. So he's an old person. So one day he'll also get old. He saw a sick person. He was never sick. So, you know, he never had a coronavirus problem. Everything was protected and all this. And finally he saw death. And he started questioning himself. And then, oh my goodness, ऐसा भी reality है क्या? And with the whole thing, calling iron, he left his family. He went on in search of truth. The moment he found the truth, that Siddhartha was not ordinary. Because remember, he had the leadership quality in him inborn. That man went on a mission mode. And he created one of the greatest philosophies of India, that is Buddhism as we call it. His own search for truth became a guidance for generations to come. Friends, you should go outside India to understand the impact of Gautam Buddha. He's truly a global leader, a spiritual leader. You know, we don't understand the concept of Buddha too much in India. When you go to countries like Japan, you go to countries outside, you'll be surprised. He is the person who has transformed the leadership space in India in the field of spirituality. Coming back, you have the qualities in you. Which field you want to apply those qualities, you decide. So leader, you are, that is Gautam Buddha. But Kshatriya field, as a prince or as a spiritual leader, that was his choice. He chose the other way. The astrologer was not wrong. His father was actually forcing him to do something which was not natural. So friends, if there is a purpose in life, you can find it through a scientific process. I've given you some tips. But the other thing is that nothing can stop you the moment you find your purpose. There is still a choice whether to apply in which field. That is something that you have to use. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. This is an amazing, mini treatise being shared with us. Arthashastra's massive, treatise on statecraft, economic policy, military strategy. एक छोटा प्रश्न आता है. When Chanakya was born, he was known as Vishnugupta.
Yes.
When he went on to his profession, being a teacher, he was Acharya Chanakya. When he went on to write down this treatise on statecraft and military policy and strategy, Arthashastra, तब वो कौटिल्य बन गए. 3 stages of life. Was it 3 stages of life, or was it something else? This question has been eating me because इसका तो कभी जवाब मुझे कहीं मिला ही नहीं है.
You're absolutely right, and let me tell you, sir, it's a fantastic interpretation also. And I have taken that from you when we discussed it also, saying that it's a very nice thing because when he was born, he was known as Vishnugupta. Okay? Vishnugupta is the first stage of Chanakya, where typically you don't have a choice because your name is already given by others, isn't it? So how many people have actually decided their names? It's actually the parents and the Panditji who will decide your names, isn't it true? So the Vishnugupta was something which was like, somebody deciding what your name should be. But the other 2 are actually evolution of the same person. The first comes Vishnugupta, second comes Chanakya. So as the child evolves, he understands his purpose of life. And Chanakya was very clear that he will follow the profession of his father. His father's name was Chanak, Chanakka Putra Chanakya. In India, your vision, your role models also become part of your thinking. Isn't it true? And you get a name like that. For example, Karna was called as Radheya. Because, he was in love with his mother, Radha, who brought him up. Of course, he was Kaunteya also. Kunti was the first mother, and the foster mother was Radha. But the identification, he said, it is Radha who brought me up. So the name got connected. It was a very emotional connect. So Radheya. In fact, Draupadi is also known as Krishna. Okay, Krishna and Krishna. It's a feminine name. So Draupadi is known as Krishna. So what happens is that Chanakya, over a period of time, as he started studying the Arthashastra, the previous Arthashastra, he found that I better follow what my father is doing. He was also a Rajaguru. He was in Patliputra. He ran his own Gurukul. And training was already there at home. So he became a role model. And he used to very proudly say, मैं कौन हूँ? मैं Chanak का पुत्र चाणक्य हूँ. So first is a choiceless name, maybe a good name, but that was not what he identified with. That's what his friends called him. Hey Vishnu, hey Vishnu. But when you find a purpose in life, when you find a role model, I want to be like him. So he used to proudly say that, yes, मैं वो Chanak का पुत्र चाणक्य. So please understand, मैं कोई ordinary कुल से नहीं आ रहा हूँ. So I am the son of a great father. And I'm telling you, sir, you are exactly doing like that. You are promoting your father's vision through all this wonderful work you're doing. I'm sure you're proud of your father. He was such a great social worker. He was a government, a public, leader in his own space. But look at after him physically not being there, you and Saritaji doing so much work. So don't you think there is a father in you who is still alive? He's inspired you and inspiring so many people. So I think the second stage of Chanakya so beautifully is saying when he says, what's his purpose in life? And that's why he rounded up purpose. And I'll tell you, my teacher, one of my teachers of Sanskrit, Swami Advayananji, he said a very beautiful thing which always remained with me. I had taken my children to Adi Shankara Nilayam, which is in Kerala, where I studied Arthashastra. My children, my daughter's name is Anvikshiki, my son's name is Arjun, my wife's name is Surekha. So we had all gone, and my parents and everyone. And Arjun, we suddenly looked at Arjun, Swami Advayananji, and said, Beta, what is your name? Arjun. Do you know the meaning of Arjun? And then he said in Sanskrit, the word for son is called as Putra. Normal. And he asked, Beta, what is the meaning of Putra? So he said, son. No, I'm not asking about translation. Tell me the meaning of Putra. Little boy, Arjun was very small at that particular time, hardly 5-6 years old. He didn't say anything. Then Swamiji said, okay, basically Swamiji had a purpose to ask that question. He said, do you know what is the meaning of Putra? It is meaning that what is not completed by the father, it is continued and completed by the son. He is really a Putra or a Suputra. Because in one lifetime, everybody cannot achieve everything. Isn't it true? So the person who has started a vision, the vision should continue and grow over generation. So the person who connects to the vision of the father is actually a Putra. Otherwise, it's tradition. So if you look at it, we have traditional practices called knowledge systems. So Ayurvedic doctor, his son also becomes an Ayurvedic Vaidya, right? And today maybe we'll get educated, but there is a parampara. But not necessarily every son will connect to the vision. So he may have 7 children, but that one child who continues that parampara of knowledge is actually a Putra or a Suputra. So you have to understand one thing, Chanakya understood that it is my father's profession and the vision that will continue. What beautiful. Not many people know who Chanakya was. Actually, Chanakya was very big, but the son made the father more famous. So second stage of Chanakya's life, the first is Vishnugupta, a child. But when you find a purpose, Chanakya Putra Chanakya. And the third stage is the last stage of his life when he completes his work and he documents his whole process. Because he realized, when you have to create a Chandragupta Maurya, you have to defeat Alexander. All measure doesn't fit all, One measure does not fit all. So what do you do? He had theories like Samadhana, Danda, Veda, Dushman ka Dushman do. So practical maxims, the sutras and all those things. So finally when he documented it, he said, everybody will not understand it. So let me call it as Kutila Niti. That's how a lot of people say Kautilya. So he said, okay, if you can't be Kutil, that's fine. I will call myself Kutil. It's okay. Okay, but you want to study? You will study my real nitis, practical wisdom, Samadhana, Danda, Veda, and a lot of other formulas are there. You can read it and all those things. So he said, I accept this name that people may not respect me. I don't want to be goody-goody, but people will always remember me as a person who achieved the results that he wanted to achieve. If I set a goal, come what may, I will achieve those goals. So he accepted the name Kautilya and he wrote the Arthashastra. coming back to your question, 3 fantastic stages, and I love the interpretation. They are actually stages. Vishnugupta, the child, born in a family, brilliant student, gets evolved into a teacher, Chanak, Chanakya Putra Chanakya. And the third is that the teacher with theoretical background applies practically and creates a Suvarna Bharat, and that's Kautilya. Today, when we look at Chanakya or Kautilya Arthashastra, we say, here is a man who inspires us to actually achieve the goals that we seem impossible. So, be the Vishnugupta, whatever the name you have given, but have a vision, that's Chanakya. And after you achieve the vision, document it for the others to follow, for generations to learn from your life experience. That's Kautilya and Arthashastra. Thank you so much for that interpretation.
So nicely explained, such brilliant interpretation of the 3 stages and where I need to be finally. I understand you are on time for the next webinar. You know, it's 9 o'clock. I could hear there's the a clock also giving you that reminder. I'm not going to hold you back, and I'm not going to make it a very longish, propose a longish word of thanks.
No, but I can take one more question because I'm delayed by 10 minutes. So there is another few minutes to go. So before you give the vote of thanks, definitely one more point. No doubt about that.
Before I put that question, I'd also like to request you, and I do hope we have not heard, this is not the last time that we are hearing of you on Youth Talks. We would want to have you back.
Please.
Publicly आपसे commitment ले रहा हूँ. अब
बिल्कुल.
चलिए सर. Sir,
I am committed.
Thank you so much. एक छोटा प्रश्न है.
जी.
चाणक्य, उन्होंने जो उस समय सपना देखा था भारत का, अगर आज चाणक्य इस भारत को देखेंगे, would he be happy or would he want to take some action to get the Bharat back to the vision that he had? Would he be happy?
Answer is yes and no. I think happy because this country is actually much better than 1947. Okay, so it's not bad, it's progressive. But he'll also be unhappy because that frustration level, if you don't have, you will not contribute also. If you're becoming complacent, I think that's not Chanakya. You want to do something better. And even if you've done the best, you should still make the best also better. So that's called continuous evaluation. So what would Chanakya do if he were to come back? He definitely would do something called as relearning. Because the Chanakya strategies during those times, okay, their principles are relevant, but the application would change. So let me give an example. I take this in my classes in Mumbai University. I tell them, imagine if Shivaji has to come back today, okay, and prove his leadership qualities. Will he be successful? The answer is yes and no. Now, how come yes and no? So I'll tell you. Shivaji's generation was different. His tools and techniques were different. Okay. So if he wants to come back, the leadership qualities of inspiration, having the vision, and all things. But today, you cannot fight with swords, right? Or cannons, if you were to talk. Maybe he's not fighting in jungles. Today it's more about cyber wars. Today it's more about economic wars. So what Shivaji would do as a great leader, he will relearn the skills that is required for the warfare that will be called a modern warfare. So what would Chanakya do? First of all, he look at the situation and say, oh my goodness, 130 crore people, opportunity. So maybe in his generation, there will be hardly 10 crore people, So he will look at the service opportunity that today, if I leave an impact, it will be bigger than the impact that he left in his particular generation. This is an opportunity. परिस्थिति बहुत अच्छी है और मेरी मनस्थिति अच्छी होनी चाहिए. So he will take it very positively. But I'm sure he will go back to attend himself in a classroom, maybe get reverse mentored by a young boy to use the technology space. He'll come back and he said, okay, can I apply it in the governance? So his model will be still governance. It will be Sushasana, but the tools and the techniques may change. So what would Chanakya do? And if you are the Chanakya, think about yourself as a Chanakya, okay? So don't think that the Chanakya is somebody dead and gone. You are a Chanakya in your organization, in your space. So understand, he would go and recondition himself or rewire himself. We call it as business process re-engineering. So he will re-engineer his thoughts and say, okay, there are 10 things I don't know, but I know the principles of good governance. So what would Chanakya do? He'll be very happy to see an opportunity. 3-4 things I would like to tell you that probably he would have done. Number one is that looking at the situation currently, he would go back and say epidemic control, what you call disaster management. Can we make it better? And he would always go back into the previous notes, like what we did in Maharashtra. I don't know about the other part. In Bombay, we had, during the British, there is something called as Epidemic Act. I think it is 1850s or something like that, 1860s somewhere. So they referred to it and they made a new act. So Chanakya would go back to the Arthashastra and say, in my generation, the form of governance had 25 rules. But probably in this generation, I could have to revamp those 25 and make it more modern and applicable. So first of all, he'd definitely go back and study his own Arthashastra, but he would definitely rewrite a new Arthashastra, which is for the millennial generation. Second thing, he will look at the criminals of the society very differently. Because, पहले के ज़माने में criminal पकड़ा जाता था, the robbery could be made up, but today the criminal you don't even know. He would more become a psychologist and maybe use an internet IoT tools to find out how your thinking is, Because today's criminals may look very nice, but they will just take away all your bank accounts and passwords the way you don't even understand. So he will say, okay, I need to understand the criminal psychology from a different perspective. But definitely what he'll do is go as a student and look at this whole situation very differently. The third thing that he will definitely do in this generation is to create more perfect leaders. See, that's his forte. He will never forget his core Swadharma. He was not a king, he was a kingmaker. He will train the whole generation to think like better leaders. And don't forget, the last one, the most important thing he will do, he will create world leaders. Not some leader to some local guy. No. बनना है तो भारत को दुनिया का नंबर 1. So the trainers that he will have, the trainees that he will have is not going to be ordinary to lead a country called India. He said, okay, I'm happy with somebody leading a Google and maybe somebody was leading a Microsoft and an IBM. But I want this Indian leaders to lead the world. And let me also tell you, conquering is not his method. Okay. Conquering and killing is not his method to become world leaders. He will lose the economic model, the Arthashastra model through the basis of knowledge. India's greatest strength was knowledge. He will say, let us go and focus on R&D more. What we are doing currently is cut copying the R&D that is coming from the West to Indian applications. Isn't it true? But where is our original R&D? He would go back to the past, maybe look at Ayurveda and all those things like what we are doing currently to research in coronavirus problem. So he will go to the past, work in the present, but he will redefine the governance model and the leadership model for the next 2,500 years. So today we are at the between. He will go back and find what was done 2,500 years ago. He'll work in the present and create a vision for the next 2,500 years. That's Chanakya for the present. If Chanakya were to come back, he'll be practical, he'll be positive, and of course, he will be spiritual with result-oriented mindset. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. You started with the 3 steps: be positive, be practical, and focus on spirituality with that Atmabal around you. You ended with the same thing. I trust if we can follow the path that you have shown to all of us, the answers would be, for us to really interpret, decipher, and maybe live the very glorious life 2,500 years earlier, and then what can be in the future. That kind of paradigms, I believe all of us need to get into. Thank you once again, sir, for taking your time and being with us. Before we end, you've got 15 books published in print, 2 ebooks already up and ready. If somebody needs to start understanding Chanakya, which of your books should I start with first?
So I would suggest that all of you should have the copy of the original Sanskrit Arthashastra, okay? Which is not written by me, it was written by the Chanakya, okay? And there are a lot of translations in local languages, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, all you will find it, okay? I started with the English version of R.P. Kangle. Please have a position of that particular book. The only problem is that many people get afraid because it's very academic in nature. Many people don't know how to do it. So I would suggest that if you want to start with an inspiration, this is my contribution. It is called The Spoke Chanakya. So there are 15 books. And if you look at the other books also, there are many of my books, Corporate Chanakya, Chanakya 7 Secrets of Leadership. I don't know if you can see this.
We can.
Okay, so all these books are there. So if you ask me which is the first book to start, I said it's like asking a mother who is your favorite child. This is called Katha Chanakya. This is another book. So 15 books, start from anywhere, अगर आपको सागर का स्वाद लेना है, if you want to taste what the taste of water is in the ocean, you don't have to go to America and find a sea there. You can be in India, you can be in Australia, wherever you are. Ab chaklo, it is all salty, it's the same. So it's asking a mother which is your favorite book. But I would say, for me specifically, if you want to be a businessman or entrepreneur, my first book, Corporate Chanakya, is a good start. But there are other books also. If you're a child, there is Chatur Chanakya. Because, that is a book that actually made me an author. The moment the child is born, you actually become a mother or a father, or a parent. So I'm saying, first book is always my first love. But all my children, all my books are my love. So start anywhere, but please start. That's very important. don't keep analyzing. पहला कदम ले लो. बहुत सारे book, and by the time you complete your 15 or 17 books, I'll be having another 10 books ready. So it's going to be a lifelong journey. Please keep reading, and I'll keep writing. Thank you for inspiring me.
Thank you so much, sir, for being on the Youth Talk Saturday Night Spotlight, for guiding us with where to start, finding the purpose, and then maybe moving ahead. I understand and I know that none of your books are the same. You do not repeat your concepts in any book.
Yes.
You repeat anything from your book in your talks and speeches. So
Yes.
everything is very unique. Each time you speak, there's something new. And that's what I love the most, to listen to you wherever possible. Once again, sir, thank you so much for being on this platform. I do wish that we get to see you once again.
Of course. It is not a wish. It's a goal set. And we will achieve it together.